No sound, sorry. I know, I've rectified it. Is it working now? Is it working? Right. I'm going to do that introduction again because I was really satisfied with that introduction and no one even heard it. Well, not that you would have heard anything. But anyway, basically, I went out the screen and then I just came in like a minute later just saying I really wanted to do that introduction. Anyway, we'll get into it. We've got Southwest Souls in the chat, we've got Peter in the chat, we've got Do It Yourself Lifestyle, Ryan in the chat, we've got Sib K, who has still not come up with another name, so I want you to come up with another name, Sib K, Andy, Muck, Digger, Marcus, Jay, Peter, Shells Rooney. We've got loads of people in there. Sib K says better. Yeah, I know, I apologise. It's only because, like, I don't want my mic plugged into my PC permanently because there's no little... You know when you get one of those... When you get a light or a lamp, a bedside lamp, it has one of those switches, doesn't it, usually? So you plug it into the wall and then you have another little sort of intermediary switch or whatever that you can flip back up, off and on. So what you can do is you can have it permanently plugged into the wall, but you just use a little switch to turn it off and on. Well, the mic doesn't have that, so as soon as I plug it in with the USB, it's permanently on, and I don't want it to be permanently on, so I always have to take it out of the USB slot when I'm not using it. But then, come the week after, I've forgot that I've unplugged it. So anyway, yeah. We need a background ads. Why? The background? You mean you need a new background? You want a new background? Is that right? Ads in the form of a mime. Oh, it's funny you should say that actually, because I've got a little bit of something planned for a bit of mime work. No mic crap start. I know, but you know what it's like with these reselling shows. It's never perfect. Who else have we got? We've got, yeah, but I think that's about everyone. So, hi there, everyone. It's good for those practicing lip reading. Yeah, I suppose it is, actually. Yeah, that is quite good. So, yeah, what was I going to say? That was it. I'm forgetting a crucial part of the whole thing I was going to say today. So, are any of you aware of Discord? And I'll explain the shirt as well. I can't believe no one's, I can't believe no one's even mentioned this shirt yet, but I'll explain the shirt in a minute. I'll first explain the Discord. So, some of you might be aware of Discord. It's basically a chat for gamers and stuff like that. So, if you're doing like PC gaming or I think like PS4 or whatever kind of gaming, it's like a gaming chat. And you basically go to the website Discord and then you sign up with your email, your name and your email. It's completely free. And you can go in there and you can do like voice chat. So you can have, sort of like a podcast basically, but where you're live chatting to other people. And you can have text chats as well. So I thought, hang on a minute. What we have in the reselling community, right, is we have Facebook groups, which are all well and good. And we have, what else is the other thing we have? We have videos and podcasts and things like that. And we have live streams. But what we don't have is like anywhere to go and to congregate and to actually voice chat with each other. Aside from all going on a live stream or something like that. And I know that certain people don't like to have their face shown and stuff like that. So I thought what I could do is put together a Discord for reselling. And people can go in there, it doesn't matter. It's like going to be like a water cooler. So people go in there, whatever point in the day, maybe they're just wanting to have a little bit of a break for a minute. They go in there. People can be in the voice chat if you want to, voice chat to each other and get a little bit more of that personal touch. Or the people who don't want to do the voice chat can just have a text chat in there. But it's kind of like a live stream, but like just that's 24/7 and that people can pop in and pop out. And my plan is if we can get like realistically I don't think my reach is mega wide or anything on this channel, but I would like if we could get sort of like 100 people in there. That'd be good over the next few months or whatever, because then there's always going to be someone in there interacting, or there's always going to be someone on the computer, who has the Discord popped up on the computer, who can maybe answer beginner questions or something like that. And I might actually create a text channel for beginner questions as well, so people can pop it, like more experienced guys can pop in there and answer any of the beginner questions and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, Not going to ramble too much more about that. The link is down below if you would like to join it. As I say, it's completely free. You just need to sign up with your I think it's your name and your email, and I think that's it. And then I think you need to do your verification of your email or something like you normally have to do. But yeah, I think it'll be a good community, and I also feel like we need that kind of water cooler. I know we've got Facebook, I know we've got other things, but we don't have like that place where we can just all go to, like, you know, on a Facebook thread is contained within that one thread. On Discord, I've got a little text channel for reselling, and I've got one for non-reselling. So you could do you could have, if you get bored of talking about one subject on reselling, you could pop over to the non-reselling related bit, and people over there might be talking about whatever. And then you can, you know, start to maybe sway the conversation towards something else, and it gets on, and you get to know people a lot more than just on a single reselling thread. I mean, Facebook, obviously, people go over there, they can do Facebook as well as Discord. I'm not saying there's any sort of rivalry, you know, I'm not trying to create any rivalry between Discord chats and Facebook chats or anything, but I'm just trying to say that I think that Discord is quite a good way of having that kind of water cooler moment for reselling throughout the day. So if you want to pop in there, then you can pop in there. The link will be down below. Dr. Doodledoo says 100 people in what? The Discord chat. It's a Discord chat. Yeah, so if you want to pop in there, you can do. I will explain the shirt now, or the hoodie actually. So I wanted basically like a hoodie done like this. It doesn't really show up very well on camera. I don't know why, but this kind of colour, the colouring's not as vibrant on camera as it is here. Although I will say, I got this from Teespring because I didn't know where else to go, so I designed it myself. Well, I designed it in conjunction with Caroline, the Celtic Traders, her son, who's called Tim. You may know him as Tech Support Tim over there. He designed the actual like background and all that sort of stuff, and then put the image on there. But then I designed it. I designed the t-shirt in the sense that I put this oval and I put it like sort of put the elements together a little bit more. But yeah, so I have to give him credit where it's due. You know, we kind of designed it together. But yeah, anyway. I've always wanted a t-shirt like this, you know, and maybe I'm just egotistical or something, I don't know. But I thought it'd be pretty cool, so I got it off Teespring. But I have to say, the print quality isn't that good. Like, I was hoping it would be... You can see here, it doesn't look great on camera anyway. But if I look at it like myself, the colours are a lot more vibrant off camera, but it still isn't great print quality. So if I'm going to get one in the future, I think I'll go with somewhere else that's a lot higher print quality. Also, I've got a hole in it already. You won't be able to see it because it's inside like this little pocket bit, but there's a tiny little hole in it already. So I don't know, I'm not too pleased with that, but still, I'm glad I've got it anyway. I'm glad I've got this t-shirt or this hoodie with that logo on. It's pretty cool. I'm not selling them, by the way, so don't go off on one saying, oh my god, he's trying to sell us and make a load of profit on these shirts. I'm not. I just literally wanted one for myself, so I got one. Right then, ads on a shirt. Damn, I know. It's a tough time. Just be easy on yourself. Why? Oh, are you talking about Gary? Oh yeah. It will be a tough time for you, Gary. So obviously, my thoughts are with you, mate. And hopefully, you know, you'll come out the other side and things will start to get better. I've had to deal with things like that in the past. Obviously, not as close relation as you've had to deal with, but you know, you just have to get through these. You have to do what you can day to day, and hopefully it'll work out okay in the end, and you start to get through it, kind of thing. Dr. Doodledoo says the ads experience sounds like a 70s funk band. Maybe it does. I don't know. I wasn't really thinking about that, but okay. Oh, ads got a new merch shirt. Yeah, well, it's not merch because you can't order. Well, I think you can order them. Can you order them in the UK, or maybe you can't order them? But well, I'm trying to think how you go about it in the UK, like ordering off merch. You could probably, like, if I knew someone who was in America, I could get them to order it, pay them the money for ordering it, like the cost of a t-shirt, then pay them an extra amount to get it shipped over here. So I probably could, but I'm trying to think if there's an easier way to go about it. I don't think you can directly order it through merch if you're in the UK. So yeah, I just got it off Teespring because Teespring you can order in the UK, but yeah, I am a bit let down with the print quality, and maybe If I was getting one in the future, I might go to a more independent kind of firm that maybe put a little bit more attention to detail with it. Obviously, you've got like job production and you've got batch production. Obviously, places like Teespring do more batch production or even complete mass production rather than that job production that is focused on the single item, the quality in that item, and getting it to the customer how they want it. I've always been like, when I was learning about job production and batch production, all these different production methods, I've always loved the idea of job production over other methods because I feel like there's a lot more quality there. I feel like there's a lot more customization there. And I think that obviously if I want the best, if I want that real good quality, you've got to go to places that you end up paying a lot more money, but they put a lot more effort in. So yeah, that's why I'm kind of, when I come to get this rainbow suit, I want it done custom. I don't want to buy it online from somewhere that, yeah, okay, it's a nice little rainbow jacket or whatever, but the quality's not there. I want to get it done custom, and if that costs me, you know, 1,000-2,000 to get this suit done, maybe even more, from a very, very professional makers, obviously get all my measurements done in person, and I do all that kind of thing, and it's very, very good quality. I'd rather that in that circumstance than, you know, something that was maybe more batch production or mass produced and that doesn't get the same level of attention. Obviously, there's things that mass production is perfect for, like food and stuff like that. You need mass production for food, otherwise we wouldn't be able to cater for everyone in the world. But things that luxury items that you really want, I'd always say to go down the job production route, you know, if you can, and get them that way. Oh, I thought there was a cat in there beside it, but it's my it's the little thing on my dressing gown, you know, the little tie thing that goes around it. But yeah, so anyway, I'm rambling again. I apologise. So yeah, anyway, I'll look in the Discord after Thursday Talk, see if there's anyone popped in. If they haven't popped in, if no one takes to it, then it doesn't matter, you know. But I thought it might be a decent idea just to see if anyone would like to do it. And I feel like it would make people like more. If people adopt the voice chat, I think it would make people a lot more connected. You know, we all obviously chat to each other in the live chats and maybe on Facebook and stuff, but I don't feel like I'm really connected to a lot of people because I don't have that level of, you know, knowing the voice or knowing the face or anything like that. So, well, some people I do, but other people I don't. So I think just even knowing the voice and talking to them on that sort of level would give us all a little bit more of a sense of personality and sort of not humanism, because that's the wrong word, but, you know, a sense of feeling human, you know, feeling like you're connecting to another human more, you know, when you hear that voice. Solo first, what's that? Solo few seconds, but the end, I can't build up so much. I don't know what. Oh, I think he's talking about some sort of football. Peter says, any good sales ads? No, it's been pretty dire. I sold that. Well, should I tell you? Because it's probably going to be in my sales update anyway. Well, should I tell you or shouldn't I? Yeah, go on. I'll tell you then. I'll tell you. I may as well. So basically, why not open a video chat? I will try and see if that's an option on Discord. I don't know whether that's an option on Discord. It might be. I've not really been on Discord for that long. Literally a couple of weeks ago I joined another Discord to do with cryptocurrency, so basically I've been on there for that, and then I had the idea that, ooh, this might make something good for reselling, but no, I don't know, maybe there is a video chat on Discord, so I'll try and check that out. So yeah, Do It Yourself Lifestyle says, tell us you teased. Right, okay, so it wasn't an amazing sale, and I did pay too much for it, but anyway, it was do you remember the big Transformers Megazord I got in that charity shop haul or charity shop hunting video? Well, I sold that for 50 quid plus about 9 quid shipping. It cost me, it was £8.99 shipping I put on it because I wasn't sure how much it cost me with Hermes. But it ended up costing me £6.49, so I must have made, I don't know, £1 or something on the shipping, so I was happy with that. But yeah, I obviously sold it for 50 quid, but I did buy it for 20 quid. And it was one of those circumstances when I was in the shop, I was like, should I buy it? Shouldn't I buy it? You know, I was kind of like that because 20 quid into 50 quid, that's top end really with margins. I mean, really, you'd want in like 10 quid into 50 quid, not 20 quid into 50 quid. But, you know, for someone who's a bit new to reselling, who doesn't care so much about the margins, maybe that's okay. But, you know, even like people who are new, 25 quid into 50 quid, that's fairly good for what they believe because they're new. But then once you're a little bit more of an older hand at this and you know what margins you should be going on, you know, you start to belittle yourself a little bit when you buy something that maybe isn't the best margin. And I know some people will understand what I mean when I say that. So when I buy something for 20 quid to flip it into 50, I think, well, should I have really paid that, or should I have passed up on it, or maybe should I have got it a little bit cheaper? So anyway, still it's gone. It didn't take it didn't take too long to sell. It didn't actually take as long as I thought to pack. I thought it would be a nightmare, but it wasn't too bad. I think it was only like 20-25 minutes, so it wasn't a nightmare to pack, but certainly, yeah. Anyway, so that sold. Surprise ads didn't get the multicolour tie-dye hoodie with the print on. Well, yeah, I didn't even think about that. Do Teespring do that? Or is that another company? Because I don't think I saw it on the base colours. But the reason I did it in this little sort of oval is because I wanted to cut out the kind of design. If I did it on a full tie-dye hoodie, I think it would work. But I don't know whether it would be as powerful in terms of as bold. Like with this one, because it's on navy, it kind of jumps away. The design jumps away from the page a little bit. Not the page, the t-shirt a little bit, of a hoodie. But if I did it full tie-dye, I don't know. It might work. It might stand out. The text might actually stand out and might be pretty cool. But I don't know. Ads, if you're an older hand at reselling, what does that make Nick? Alright, sorry, I didn't, you know, anyway, I am starting to get, when I get to 5 years, I'll be able to class myself an older hand, but, yeah, Nick is like, Nick has been referred to, I'm pretty sure, before. I'm not referring to this as him, but I'm sure I've heard it before. I'm sure he's been called the grandfather of reselling or something. I don't know whether it was. It might have been me who referred to him in the past as that. I don't know. I can't remember. Hi, ads. Do you find charity shops have less stock during boot sale season? Yeah, I think not necessarily less stock, but I do find it harder to find quality stock opposed to maybe Christmas period or just after Christmas. So yeah, I would say I would say that. Maybe not less stock, but less quality. I'm not finding much at all at charity shops at the moment. I mentioned in the whole charity shop hunting video I did, like, what was that, 3 days ago now? But basically, it's becoming harder and harder to find things at charity shops. I think that if you go to the one-off charity shops, well, not the one-off charity shops, but you know what I mean, like the charity shops that are independent, that's the better word to use, then you've got a better chance. If you go to these chains, you're basically picking up scraps. You might find the odd gem that they've underpriced. You know, might have priced it at 3 or 4 quid, and it's actually, you know, a £50 item or whatever. But generally, it's quite tight at these places now. You're not going to find that much. They've got eBay stores going. You will. I'm not saying that you're not going to find anything. You will find something. There's always something in some of these shops when you go around for a trip. If you go around once a week or twice a week, you're going to find something at those chain shops. But I just don't think you can find as much as maybe when I first started this, or maybe even just a year ago. I feel like I was finding a lot more about a year ago from charity shops than I am now. So, I don't know, it's just weird. Maybe it's just a cycle that we're going through. Maybe more people are selling on Spock and Facebook Marketplace and not donating to charity, or, you know, going to boot sales and then with the rest of the stuff they're just tipping it or something. I don't know, but I do feel like something slightly changed. Maybe the quality of stock has changed at charity shops, or maybe just the volume. I'm not sure, but I would say more the quality than the volume. I'd say the quality isn't as high there as it has been. However, saying that, actually, I knew there was something I wanted to say. I put on Instagram, not yesterday, I think Tuesday, after I had done that video, I had just done that video of saying charity shops are really high price. Charity shops are really highly priced, or whatever the video was called. I don't even know. Is charity shops getting hard to make profit on? Something like that, anyway. But after I had done that video, the next day, I go into my local town. I go in to drop the post off, because my local post office is temporarily closed. Oh, and also, my local post office, for those who are wondering, it isn't permanently closed. It is temporary. They are going to be coming back in a few weeks, so I won't need to go into town. Not that, you know, it's not far to go into town or anything, but obviously it's easier just to go down to my local one that's 5-minute walk or 2-minute in the car or less, so compared to going into town. But I went into town, dropped the sacks off at the sorting office. I always go to the sorting office to drop my sacks off, because if you go to the post office, you end up having to wait in the queue, even though you are click and drop. Sometimes you end up having to wait in the queue anyway if there's just, you know, loads of people in there. So I go to the sorting office, and then it avoids queues in most circumstances. But I went there, and I went round the first charity shop I go in for the day. Walk in, there's there's a PS1 on the left hand side on one of, like, just, you know, like a side table type thing, and it was sticking up at 10 quid, and it didn't have all the wires with it. And I heard someone ask, and I thought, oh no, she's gonna get all this, like, before me now or whatever. I wasn't going to buy it for 10 quid anyway, because I know there's probably a bit of profit in it, but 10 quid, it's a bit too much for me. So, but anyway, I heard this woman say, oh, my husband might be interested in that, as it got all the wires. Anyway, the lady in the charity shop said yes, and then I looked over at the games, because I just naturally go over to the games and the DVDs anyway. And I look over, and the PS1 games are stacked up on like the DVD shelf, so they're not near the PS1. If they were near the PS1, that lady might have just got it. Like, if she had saw the 2 titles that were in there, they weren't like major titles, but the decent titles. The 2 titles that were in this stack were Spyro the Dragon, Black Label, you know, on the PS1. You know, it's a decent game. You don't find it often in charity shops. And the other one that was worth picking up was Resident Evil, the director's cut. And basically, I picked them up and said, how much are your games? She said 150. Didn't bother grabbing the PS1. I probably could have done, to be honest, because the profit I would have made on the Spyro and the Resident Evil would have offset the £10 cost of a PS1 anyway, if you kind of get my drift. So I probably could have got the PS1 anyway, because, you know, kind of pound cost averaging it, or dollar cost averaging it, or whatever you want to say, would offset the cost. But I didn't buy it in the end, the PS1, but I got the 2 games, and I walked out and I was like, oh my god. It just shows that if you're persistent, there are still things out there that you can still get scores from charity shops. So it is unfair of me to say, you know, oh, these charity shops are skyrocketing in price and all that sort of stuff. And the discs were absolutely minty fresh. I'm doing a bit of a Nick Hills there, but they were absolutely minty. So, yeah, that was really good, actually. And then, even better, I put them on Instagram, as I just said. And I got my first ever Instagram sale. I tagged it with the words video game, and I did like 30 tags. Like, I maxed out my tags or something on Instagram, and I put like video game, Spyro the Dragon, video game collector, all that sort of stuff, just to see what that would do, kind of thing. Not necessarily to get a sale, I wasn't even thinking about that, but to actually just further my reach and maybe get a few more followers on Instagram using the hashtags. So anyway, I did that, and then this guy messaged me who's a collector. I think he watched my videos actually as well. I'm not 100% sure, but he said I love the vids or something. So maybe he was already a follower of mine. But he ends up saying that he would be interested in Resident Evil. We agree on a price, and that was all done and dusted. So I did my first ever Instagram sale a couple of days ago, and then that's made me think, hang on a minute, I bet you there's something to this Instagram selling, you know, because if I were to create like an ads emporium page, let's say on Instagram, and I throw in the occasional you know, item I'm selling, along with, if I throw in like maybe 1 in 5 posts I do something I'm selling, and the other 4 posts are maybe different quotes or something I find online relating to antiques, or maybe drop a little bit of knowledge on antiques in there about a certain company or whatever, and do, like, you know, do informative posts, but also try and sell people things in between the informative posts, because that's kind of one big strategy with social media marketing. I think there used to be called the 2 in 10 strategy, and then there's another one called the 1 in 5 strategy and all that sort of stuff back when I was doing social media marketing. So I thought to myself, I bet I could do this. So, you know, I'm thinking maybe like get a page for my antiques, and do it that way, and sell maybe higher end, put maybe my higher end antiques on there, because I think that if I put the lower quality ones on there, it won't drum up as much interest. But if I make a page that's informative, that people love to view, and also that I sell high end antiques on there, then that could work. It actually could work. And you know, it's direct with PayPal. Obviously I'm doing goods and services, so there will be some fees and stuff involved with that, but it's nowhere near, you know, you're cutting out the eBay fees, you're cutting out all that sort of stuff. So yeah, there could be something to that. So that gave me a bit of an idea when I sold that item on Instagram. But yeah, so it's been pretty cool this week, because I've had quite a few different ideas coming up, and I like it when I have ideas, because I think, oh, you know, how can I do this it's kind of like you're playing a game of chess with, whether it's social media marketing, whether it's eBay reselling, whether it's anything to do with online. Everything online is like very, very similar. And the running themes with anything online are basically SEO, you know, tags, you know, titling of things, a good product, making people feel like they're getting a good deal, making people feel value, and actually, you know, putting value into the content you're creating. And I think that if you do all those things, no matter what you're doing online, it doesn't really matter. You're gonna get somewhere. So it's quite interesting when I'm having these ideas and I'm thinking, right, how can I play this to my advantage, and how can I actually kind of create something out of this idea, and how can I do it in the best possible way to see results. And it's not in getting the results that makes you really happy. It's actually in the process of getting the results. Like, before you get the results, trying to work out how to get the results, that's what makes you happy, because you're thinking, it's like this weird little mind battle that you have with you and the internet, or you and yourself, and you're trying to work things out. And it's very, very good, very that's the passion you get from your job, not necessarily getting sales or getting results or whatever. They're all well and good, you will get passion out of them, but the passion for me comes in trying to beat the system, trying to, you know, find different ways to do things in a better way than someone else, or in a better way than I've previously done, that kind of thing. That's what gets me out. It really does get me. Anyway, I'll look in the chat because I've rambled so much. Seems like people are talking about Fortnite, I think. Damn ads, great game, Spyro and Res Director's Cut. Hardly ever see PS1. And no, I never see PS1. And like, the only PS1 games I see in the charity shops nowadays are like crap titles, like, you know, all the you know, sports titles and stuff like that. And maybe you'll see like a Harry Potter or something in there, I don't know, but you'll see the odd, like, you know, like that sort of title, but you hardly ever see good titles. So yeah, I was really happy with that. Obviously, a lot more people are aware, especially with Spyro and Crash Bandicoot, a lot more people are aware of the value of those games. So yeah, I don't see them, and it's a shame, because I'd love to find PS1, I'd love to find a lot more video games in charity shops, but I just don't find them, you know, and it's just a shame, because otherwise, if you want to get video games, the only other alternative, because it's so competitive, is like buying on Gumtree or Facebook Marketplace, or, you know, trying to snipe off eBay. But then what you're doing is you're starting to get thinner margins, because you're having to pay a lot more for these items. You might get the odd bargain on Facebook Marketplace, no doubt, but you're going to be struggling for the same margins that you get in charity shops or car boots. You can get video games from car boots, but again, if you're not there really early and you're not on it, you're not going to get any of the good titles. I'll just say that, because there's one guy at my local car boot who is on it. Like, like, I get to the stalls and he's already there every single time. And it's not just him, there's other guys, so you've got to be careful at car boots. Like, well, not got to be careful, but you'll never get the kind of, well, not never, but you very rarely get those kind of titles at the car boot, unless you are 100% on it. And it doesn't necessarily mean like getting there completely, like, really, really early. Obviously, getting there early is a big part of it, but actually being a certain type of person, being able to go up to a car and, you know, while they're setting up or whatever, and saying, oh, have you got any of this on, and any of that, any of the other. And I know people are going to hate me for saying this, but the people who go in the boots, they get results. And I do not like going into people's boots. I do not like, you know, crowding around people when they're just setting up, but they're the people who get the best results, whether you like it or not. It's a little bit immoral, or maybe a little bit, you know, it's maybe a bit intrusive, maybe not immoral, but a bit intrusive, a little bit bold, but that's kind of how you have to be. It's like a dog-eat-dog world at the car boot, and they're the guys who mainly get the results. So, yeah, anyway, we shall look up the chat again. What's your eBay username? I'd love to look through your listed items. I will give that in a comment. I don't particularly like... The problem... I used to give my eBay username out no trouble on video, but then I went through a period of having some trolls and stuff like that, and now I'm a bit more afraid of giving it out, because if I give it out on video and then one of those trolls were to go over to my eBay account, they could end up like reporting my listings or something like that, and it's just unnecessary stress for me. So I will give it out as long as I have some inclination that the person I'm giving it out to isn't just going to do things like that. And I know I'm not at all sort of suspecting you or anything, but I just have to... When you're in business, you have to protect your own interest at some point. There are videos on my channel, though, if you go back further enough, where I actually do have my eBay name on a sales report, so someone could end up getting my information if they had to anyway. But I just don't like encouraging it. You know, I don't like putting it on video and then someone go over there, someone do something annoying to my listings or whatever, you know, report them or whatever it is, and then I have to deal with that because I have enough bloody problems as it is. So, but yeah, so that's why I generally on sales updates these days don't like share it as much, or don't like put my information on there as much, because I just don't like inviting. It's like maybe not playing devil's advocate or whatever. I don't know what the correct saying would be, but you just kind of invite in. You might be inviting that little bit of negativity or that little bit of problem in. So I don't like doing that particularly. Oh yes, Alt 14 F4 was brilliant joke. I think we're still talking about Fortnite. Hi ads, do you? Oh no, I've already answered that. It's okay. I think so you do merch, Chrissy? Oh yeah, Chrissy's got into merch, hasn't she, actually? Are you on tier 10 or tier 25 or something, Chrissy? Jasmine's in, hi there. Very cool, looks like a bubble. Yeah, it does actually look, well, I basically just started off with a circle and then you stretched it out into an oval because it wouldn't fit the design very well. So, yeah. Yes, your badge is in the post. Oh, someone sold a badge, I think. Gemma has sold a badge to someone. Had a few sales over the last week and a half, but average sales. So yeah, it's been very kind of bread and butter. Some days I've not done well at all. Other days have been okay. Tail end of last week was very, very poor. From about Thursday to Sunday, or maybe Friday to Sunday, it was poor. Like, it was bad. On Saturday, I think I did like £12 or 20 quid, something like. It was either 12 quid or it was £20 something, but it was bad. And then on Sunday I had a few auctions ending, so I managed to do over 100 on Sunday, but those aren't the results you want to be getting from a weekend. Weekend, really, I'd like to be 300, 400, 500 quid, not blooming 130 odd or 140. It's not. Because if you think about that's turnover, and then you have all your costs on top of that, or, well, to come off that. So it's not, it's not really what I want to be doing, 140 quid. Because by that logic, you're not making much profit at all, really, over a weekend. Because weekend, you've got to think, is your, generally, maybe not Saturday, but Sunday is kind of, and also Monday usually is quite good for me, or can be quite good. It used to be better than it is now, but Sunday, Monday sort of time, maybe Saturday, is kind of the days that you're going to get the most sales. So, if you're not getting great sales on those days, then you're not going to be doing that well for the rest of the week. I know that certain people say that like midweek it can pick up and they can do, you know, they might have a better Wednesday or Thursday than they do at weekend. I have experienced that before. I had a run of about 5 weeks that I was doing like 150, 160 quid on a Wednesday. Really random day, you know, it's not like auctions are finishing or anything, but you just have good days on that day. So sometimes, you know, midweek can be okay, but generally Sunday is that day, especially if you're doing auctions. Sunday is that day. So yeah, it's been slow. It is I can't even talk. It's been really slow. On average, how much profit do you get per 1,000 turnover? I don't know that. I just work it out on the you know, at the end of the year. I'd say that's probably about that. I'd say maybe just shy of 40%. I'm a little bit low compared to others. I don't know why that is, but I would say just shy of 40%. I know that other people are like 60%. I don't even know how they get that much net profit, you know, net profit percentage. But I would say I'm like 35%, which for this business is a little bit low, because generally in this business, when you're reselling, you get higher profits, you get higher profit margins. So I have been, over the past sort of year or so, I have been looking at one big thing, and that has been cost of goods. Certainly last tax year, because what I was doing last tax year is I was doing video games, right? And I realised that I was spending quite a lot on these video game hauls, and it was meaning that it was kind of pushing that cost of goods up too much. So I realised that, and that is one of the reasons. I think I explained this a few weeks ago back on Thursday Talks. That was one of the reasons that I was getting out of video games, because the cost of goods, the amount of money I had to reinvest back into the business was quite a lot, and I wanted to get that cost of goods down to do the kind of the you know, auction job lots, the household job lots that I was paying a lot less for, and might not make me that much more turnover or anything like that, or maybe even less turnover, but the profit will have increased because of obviously not spending as much. And certainly over the last 6 months since I've been doing that, I started that in January, I've massively seen, and certainly in the last 3 months in particular, I've seen a massive decrease in the cost of stock that I've got. Like last month, well basically I'll tell you it, last year I had months where I was spending like 1,000, 1,500, I think the highest month was like 1,700 on stock for video games because I was buying it off eBay. But this year, I've had a month where I only spent £200 on stock, yet I was doing 3k in turnover, so the profit on that was incredible. So hopefully by the end of this tax year, I can see that sort of work its magic a little bit more, and then that'll increase my net profit percentage. But as I say, back the last tax year when I was doing that sort of video game kind of thing, I did notice that my net profit percentage maybe isn't as high as it should be, or isn't as high as it could be. So yeah, so certainly I would like to improve upon that, and that is what I'm doing. It's been what I've been doing for the last 6 months, and I am changing up again actually this month in I'm actually not going to a particular auction house anymore, because I found that although I'm getting these job lots for quite cheap, over the last 6 months or so, I've seen a decline in quality. So I'm actually going to move, and I'm going to move to an in-betweeny auction house that's kind of not mega high quality, but a little bit better quality than this other auction house. So obviously I'll be paying a little bit more maybe, but it is better quality, so it should even it out a little bit again. But the thing with what I was seeing at this auction house now is, because I'm buying these big massive job lots, every job lot I've had has seen to the quality and the amount of wastage I've got out of those job lots has increased somewhat. So I have got to change up again and think about a new way of doing it. But I've already done that this month, and now it's just a case of just literally bidding on this new auction, getting obviously my man in van to collect, and then you know, bringing it back to the lockup, and that's sorted. So yeah, it's the thing about business is you have to constantly evolve. Like, you think you might have found one way of doing something, and then you'll think, oh, you know what, it's not quite working out, or it's working out, but I just don't have as much passion for it. Again, in the case of the video games, it wasn't just the cost of goods. It was the fact that I was getting a little bit burnt out with it. I wasn't having as much passion for it. So that was a kind of reason I dropped it as well. Also, obviously the fact that I wanted to do antiques more and wanted to pursue that more. So, yeah, I think it's just this kind of natural evolution of your business. And you go from one period, you know, one point to another point, and the points might be vastly different, but there's all this journey in the middle that maybe people don't see to get you from point A to point Z or whatever. So, yeah. Anyway, I'll just have a look in the chat, look up the chat. How's the cabinet going, ads? I said the other week, I am going to pull out of the cabinet because it's just not doing what I want it to do, to be honest. It's major slow. It's not where I want it to be. And you've got to make these decisions in business. There's no point paying money out if you're not getting as much money back in. So simply that would mean you've got a failed business. So if you did that for an extended period of time. So yeah, I think that I am going to just sack off the cabinet, move on. It's not, you know, it's not anywhere near an essential part of my business. So it doesn't matter that much, to be honest. I'm just going to move on. Maybe I'll try a cabinet or a booth somewhere else. I wouldn't certainly try it back there in that antique centre. Maybe I'll try it somewhere else in the future and give it another shot, because I'm not done with it. I said when I first got the cabinet, I'm not giving up with this. I'm not just, you know, taking it lying down. I'm not just, you know, saying that's that and I'm not never doing a cabinet or booth again. I will try it again. I will re-strategize. I'll think about going to different places. I'll put a little bit more work in, a little bit more leg work in next time with regards to doing a bit more research and things like that before I end up signing a contract or anything like that. And then we'll see where that leads me. And obviously, all along the way, you know that I'll be documenting it on my channel anyway. So you will see that if and when it comes up, or when it comes up, I should say. So yeah. RV Ads Experience shirts available on merch. They are not available on merch, but even if they were available on merch, you wouldn't be able to purchase them because, oh well, you'd have to have an American friend to purchase them, because then they could send it over to you or whatever if you were thinking of purchasing them. But I am not going to sell these, because I said it to myself about 4 years ago when I started. There's a few things I won't do with my kind of, I don't like to call it internet marketing, because it sounds a bit, internet marketing, the words internet marketing get a really bad rep, but let's just say in my brand, in my personal brand, I know this goes against what a personal brand is, because a personal brand does have merch, but I did kind of think to myself, I don't really want to do courses, I don't want to sell courses to people, and I don't want to sell merchandise to people. Not because I think it's like really weird or scammy or anything, but I just don't, I feel like the people on this channel are my friends and my family, and I don't, you know, I don't say to my mum, oh mum, would you like to buy my shirt? You know, I don't do that to my mum, I don't do that to any of my family or any of my friends or anything, because you don't necessarily force the, you don't force a sale upon someone in your own family. So that's how I feel like with you guys, kind of thing. I don't want to do that. I don't want to force a sale. Now, if I get an overwhelming response of people who want to buy these, then maybe I will reconsider, because that's of everyone's choice then to, you know, they actually really do want to buy these. But what I will be doing in that circumstance is I will be getting these produced by a different supplier other than Teespring to make, and I will be getting a sample myself to make sure that it's up to the standard that I would like, because I do not want people getting an inferior product. I don't want people to, you know, I don't want it to harm my brand as well, because if I were to sell these and then someone get them and maybe they're not happy with them or anything, I'm sure they would understand and all that sort of stuff. But also, if they do wear them or anything, then this, maybe people out and on the streets or whatever, maybe people don't wear them out and about, but if they did, people on the streets might see them and they might actually think, well, oh, I don't like the quality of that t-shirt or anything, and it might put them off my channel, it might put them off my brand and stuff. So there's all these different things to consider. If ever I do an ebook or a course, it will be, I want to say free, but I am thinking I might charge £1 for it. Basically, the reason of me just charging £1 for it is just getting a little bit of money back for my time. But obviously, I would put in like days of effort into that ebook or that course. And yes, okay, people might be thinking, oh my god, you're stupid, you should charge, 20 quid, 50 quid, 100 quid for that course or whatever. But it's not the way I want to be. I want my information to be free to people. And if ever I get to a really, really good experience level of maybe 10 years of reselling, and I've, obviously moved out of this house and I can pay for myself and all that sort of stuff, then I do an ebook. Then I want all that information in that ebook, everything I've learned, and I want anyone to be able to access it. So yeah, if ever I was to do that, it would either be free or it would be like a quid, just so I get something. Maybe I get a little bit of cost of development or whatever, or a bit of money back for my time, just like a tiny little, donation. Oh, I might, what I might do? I might do donations. That's what I might do. I might say, it's gonna be free, but if you would like to donate for my time or whatever, then that'd be lovely, kind of thing. I just like that. I think that's kind of the way I want to be. The way I just don't. I don't know. Maybe it's just It's just the way I am. I don't even know how to explain it, but it's just kind of the way I feel with it all. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just rambling. That's all. I'm rambling again. Anyway, seriously though, the Celtic traders have badges. I would love an ad badge. I don't know, how do you produce badges? I'll have to look into that. If your channel gets heavily trolled, it's normally one guy. So why has there been some troller on today? I didn't even know. Sue is in the chat. Hi there. Are you first time in, Sue, for a live stream? Don't think I've seen your name before. Maybe it's just me messing up and not looking at the chat properly. Yeah, I've been trolled by quite a few people. Well, I say quite a few people. You're actually very right there, Steve, where, people these trolls create different accounts, and there might be 10 accounts or 5 accounts, and you think that everyone sort of hates you. You think that everyone's ganging up on you, and it's actually not. It's all just this one guy or maybe 2 guys. But it's just the way it goes. And the funny thing is with my channel, the more effort I put into my channel, and this is very funny actually, the more effort, the better quality my videos get, with the green screen, with the mic, with the thumbnails. Every time I improve the quality of my videos more, I get more dislikes, like, as an overall ratio, which is really weird. Like, it's like I've just improved the quality like 4-fold, yet I'm gonna get more dislikes. It's like, what? That doesn't even make any sense. But yeah, when you're on YouTube, you have to learn to deal with that. Like, it's such a hard learning curve when you're getting loads of different comments like saying, oh, this was crap, da da da. And I got that with my comedy shorts. I mean, the first one went down really well, but then the second one, ones after that didn't go down as well. Actually, the date night one went down really well, but I got a lot of dislikes on that, the second one. I think it might have been second one. But I got a lot of dislikes because you've got to be aware, if you're putting out content that is maybe a little bit out there, a little bit different, or maybe you're just a personality. I've got a personality type that is very much like Marmite. I've said this before, you either love me or you hate me. If you've got that inside you, if you've got that kind of bubbliness or that kind of, maybe even arrogance in a way, maybe it's a little bit of arrogance with my personality. If so, I can't help it, that's just how I am. But obviously when people see that, it might make them end up thinking, oh, I don't like this channel, this guy's talking crap or whatever, he's too arrogant, he's too egotistical. Look at this guy, he's got himself on a t-shirt. How arrogant can you be, or how egotistical can you be? Dislike, boom, So I get it, I understand it. Although, what I would like is if YouTube, if you can own, this is what I would like, and I know that this might be kind of too centralized or whatever, but I would like it that if YouTube came up with a thing of, you can only dislike something if, for one, the content is actually poor, so you can't even like hear things, the mic is terrible, it's not very good content on a technical level, on a kind of equipment level. So you can only dislike it if there's that. You can dislike it if there's any racism or anything to do with, bad language and all that sort of stuff. You can dislike it for that. and you're free to dislike it if you just don't like the content in terms of what they're doing. However, what I would suggest is that when people dislike it if they don't like the content, I would like it that YouTube maybe puts something in there when we're about to dislike it, that maybe helps them think about why they're disliking it. Because I think that if people dislike a genuinely good video just because they don't like the way the person is presenting it, I feel like that's a little bit harsh in a way, because the actual content they're providing is sound. It's really, really good content. And then when someone comes on that video and sees 20 dislikes on it and 10 likes or 20 likes or whatever, they're going to think that content is actually completely bad. But it's not that. It's just that the people, a large number of people, don't like the personality style of the person, and then it makes other new people coming in think that, it's a bad video when it's not. The content is sound. That's what annoys me. It's one guy that's the troll. If your channel gets drowned with dislikes and horrible comments, and I have a theory who it is, it will come out one day. Question: when you buy bulk lots in auctions, what do you do with the non-eBay quality stuff? Yeah, well, this is what I was saying, Tap Pedal, actually. The auction house I've been going has declined in quality, and basically every job lot, every 20 boxes of stuff I get or whatever, there's been more and more stuff that isn't really eBayable. You could probably, there's loads of glasses and stuff in there. I might job lot a few of the glasses up from time to time or whatever, but a lot of them, it's just not worth putting on eBay. These kind of very, very standard little glasses and stuff, and there's loads of other bits and bobs in there. There's dirty things in there that, just things there's no point putting on eBay really. But basically the quality's declined over the last 6 months, and every time I have been there and obviously sorted through the job lots, I've found that I've been putting more and more to the side for charity. So the way I'll do it is I'll put as much as I can on eBay. I will try and I might put a few items to a car boot pile if we are doing a car boot in the next month or so. If we're not planning on doing a car boot, in a month or so, then I won't bother. I'll just end up putting them in the charity shop box. But it'll either be charity shop or tip. I will put as much as I can in the charity shop box because obviously that helps them out. But the thing with these job lots, if you want to go down the route that I went down, that I'm actually transitioning away from a little bit now, I'm not transitioning away from it completely. I'm just kind of slightly upping the quality a little bit because I've kind of gone down that quantity route for 6 months now, and it's not working out as well as I thought it would do. In terms of profit, it's great. Don't get me wrong, the profit is there, but the time and the effort you have to put in and the wastage and just the amount of low value items compared to high value items, basically what I'm saying is it's not as time efficient as going down other routes of other different business models. So if you want to do that, you need to be going to auction houses that basically have 6-7 boxes in one lot, and maybe they go for 10 quid or 15 quid. That's it. So you get basically 7 boxes for 10 quid or 15 quid. That then means you're into these boxes, when you add commission on, you're into them for less than about 2 quid each. Maybe a little bit more, but about the 2 quid each. So, for example, I had a box the other day. I found a box soda siphon in it. It's a red one. I've sold it before for 10 quid plus postage. And that entire box cost me 2 quid. I whack that on the photo area, photo it up, that's it paid for and profit. Anything else out of that box is fine. Now, I'll move on to another box. Let's say I find 2 items in that box. One £20 item, one £10 item. That's then 30 quid. Now, I've got 40 quid back out of 2 boxes that I might have paid, what did I say, £10 plus commission or something for. And then I've got another few boxes left. But the majority of items in those boxes will be tapped, and then you have to spend a load of time, putting them all into charity shop boxes or creating charity shop boxes up, and then lugging them down into the car, getting them to the charity shop. And you're doing this once or twice a week, with 4 or 5 boxes of stuff. So it's quite a lot of lugging around. It's quite a lot of trips here, there, and everywhere. The time efficiency isn't that great. And just dealing with all that crap, I tell you one thing, it really gets you down. Because you're not focusing on quality items, it makes your mental state go a little bit down. Like you're not as enthusiastic for the job as you would be if you're focusing on quality. So it was a great experience for me. I'm really glad I did the quantity, like quantity of items over quality of items for that time period. However, it's taught me a valuable lesson of really, if you want to do it, you've got to be dedicated, you've got to have a lot of motivation, and you need to sacrifice quite a bit of time. If you don't want to do all that sort of stuff, just go down the quality route straight away. Just go down the quality route. Try and get a bit of knowledge in what quality items to pick up and what items are, 30, 40, 50 quid, and just go down that route. That would be my advice from the last 6 months of what I've been doing. And maybe in this time in a year, I might do the quality route, and I might have nothing on my eBay store below £20 or £30. That would be great. However, I might then get to a point with that. I might think, well, do I want to continue doing this? Do I want to change my business model up again? Because I always find with my personality, I don't like sticking to one thing. I like moving on and changing and trying to, again, it goes back to this kind of game of chess in my own mind. Like, I want to explore something, I want to learn how to do it, and I want to try and learn how to get results. And then once I've got results for a certain period of time, I get bored, and then I think, well, I've got to get onto a new challenge now, so I need to think, right, how can I do it? Like, for example, I did Amazon merch. I started Amazon merch 4 weeks ago, or just over 4.5 weeks ago, and no, almost 5 weeks ago now, sorry, and I didn't get a sale for a couple of weeks, and then I got a sale, and then I got another sale, and then I got 2 sales in one day, then I had another sale, and I've recently had another sale. And I'm actually going off merch a little bit more now. I've reached my 100 submissions, so I've reached my 100 design limit, and so I've not got anything to do on there until I get tiered up, really, except maybe edit a few designs or do a bit of pricing or whatever. I could do designs like now ready for when I tier up, but basically what's happened is it was like a game of chess at the start for me. I was like, ooh, how can I get results? How can I do this? What formula can I create to get results? And then when you get results, you're like, well, I beat it now. I've done that. It's like a game. Oh, I beat it now. What else can I do? And yes, some people might be saying, well, no, you've only got like 5 sales, so that's or 8 sales or whatever I've got now. So that's not really beating it. But in my mind, it is, you see, because that first sale, as soon as you get that first sale, you've won. You've won. People think to themselves like, oh, well, winning is being able to make 50k on eBay a year or whatever. It's not winning. Winning is being able to actually get the correct formula to be able to get the sales in the first place. And then you've won, because whether you have the formula to get £10 worth of sales or £50,000 worth of sales, it's basically the same formula. There's nothing different. It's just the amount has changed. You're making 10 quid or you're making 50k, but it's the same formula. You just have to put more effort in, that's all, really, or you might have to change things up very slightly. So that's how I look at it, and then I think, right, I'm on to the next thing, or I'll build up that a little bit more and then let that sit in the sideline and then move on to the next thing. And it's how I've been all my life, since 12 or 13. I get bored of it, or things start to go a bit wrong with it, or maybe things are going well, but as I say, I just want to move on, and then I move on and do something else, and that's that. So yeah, it's weird. I think eBay's been the most consistent thing in my life. Like, in my entire life, I've actually done something for 3 years consistently, in the sense of being online, doing selling. So I think eBay's been the most consistent part of my life, really. Anyway, I'll just go down because I've rambled long enough there, and we will end the chat in a minute. We've got Lex Oliver question, adds, what inspires you with your designs? I do Merch Informer. There is a link in the description. If you sign up with that link, if you're thinking of doing merch or whatever, I get 30 days free with merch, so Merch Informer, sorry. So basically, I don't have to pay like a month subscription or whatever. So if anyone is thinking they would like to get into merch, I would appreciate it if you use the link. But if you have any sort of what's the word, like reservations with using affiliate links, then fair enough, just go on merchinformer.com. I think it's merchinformer.com, and you'll basically see that it's a subscription based service, and you pay. Well, I'm on like the basic tier or something, which is like $20 a month, and it gives you keyword research, it gives you bestsellers rank, so you can view all the bestsellers ranks of all the t-shirts. It gives you basically merch designs that are doing really well and that are trending, so you can go into, I think it's the movers and shakers tool on the website, and you can see all the ones that are doing pretty well. And obviously you don't want to be copying those designs, but you can kind of formulate a different design of that kind of design, if you know what I mean. So you might have a design like that's, you know, certain kind of thing. I don't know, I can't think of an actual subject now, but certain like zoo animal or something like that, I don't know. And then you just formulate a new design. Maybe you kind of think of a little witty pun to go with it or something. Maybe you change up, you know, you change things in the design, all that sort of stuff. You create a new design based on what you feel would sell better. There's loads of different ways to go around it, but I would never copy designs like that. Obviously you see on merch a lot, like, someone will have a certain phrase, and then like, I'd rather be fishing or something like that, and then about 50 other merchers will copy that phrase but in a different font. Don't do that. You're just shooting yourself in, like, I mean, so many people are, I don't get people who do that, because people who do that won't make as many sales as they would do if they did an actual design that's fairly unique. So yeah, don't do the whole kind of thing of, you know, just copying a design but a different font or something. But you can take inspiration from that design in the movers and shakers and do something similar. That's what I'm trying to say. Also, you've got in there keyword finder, so you can go into the keyword finder tool and you can just search like a basic phrase, and then obviously something will come up. So you could search tennis, and then it'll give you all different phrases, like sub phrases for tennis, and then it'll show you the search ranking. And I basically go off, if it's got over like 12,000 search volume, if it's got over like 12,000 search volume and the competition little thing says low, what I'll do then is I'll go onto the merch research tool, which is on the Merch Informer website, and you basically type in that phrase, and then you actually check the competition in line for yourself. Then what you'll do is you'll think, right, is that competition level okay? You might, I have a little plugin actually on my Chrome browser that lets me check BSR on the actual Amazon page. I forgot what it's called. Let me just see actually. DS Amazon Quick View. That's what it's called. It's a free plugin, and then basically what I'll do is I'll be able to check BSR, and if I like the look of the BSR on the page, if there's not much competition, and I can think of kind of a different idea, a different design that other people haven't done, then I'll go for it. Generally, I like it when there's only a few people competing for that keyword. Like, if there's only like, you know, 5, 10, 15 people, I'm all over that. A lot of these things are, this way of doing merch is more long tail. I wouldn't say you're going to get sales straight away. If you're trying to get out of tier 10 or tier 25, I would try and focus on a few trending designs. And again, you can do that in the movers and shakers tab of merch research. But that's how I do them. And then once I've got a topic, obviously with me, I love like sci-fi and Doctor Who and that sort of stuff. Obviously I don't use Doctor Who because that's all trademark thing and all that sort of stuff, copyright. But what I have got is I do quite a lot of sci-fi designs. So I'll just like do loads of different sci-fi designs. Like, I'll get inspiration from myself kind of thing, you know, of just my own passion of and love of sci-fi. So if your passion is, you know, something like fishing or something like clothing or whatever, I don't know, you could just do I suppose a clothing t-shirt design would be a bit odd, but whatever your kind of thing is, maybe incorporate that into it. There's loads of different things. You can go on Wikipedia and you can type in like a list of hobbies or list of sci-fi themes or list of loads of different things, like list of occupations, and it'll get up all these different things that inspire you to go on to create a design. So yeah, there's loads of different ways to go about it. I'm still learning. You can also go on a site called Rhyme Zone, which will actually pair a word with a rhyme. So, for example, it'll pair like microphone. It'll give you a rhyme or a very near rhyme for that word. Some words don't actually have rhymes, but you know, others might have a very near rhyme, or we might have a matching rhyme. And then you could create a t-shirt design with a little bit of a graphic and a bit of text that is the actual rhyme. So like, I can't think of one right now, but oh, well, I was gonna use. I couldn't use this actually in the end because it's like Star Wars. Well, some people have them on merch, not this exact design, but or exact phrase, but other people have designs like with this kind of theme. And you know the phrase "use the force." I was gonna put "use the horse" and then a little horse graphic down below. I know it's not the best; it's very cheesy or whatever, but. It might have sold, I don't know, it might have sold, but I didn't use that anyway because I messaged Margaret and she said it might not be the best idea to put that on, even though there was kind of different parodies or different kind of, you know, what's the word, different phrases on Use the Force that were already listed. I didn't end up listing it in the end because I didn't want my account to get harmed. So yeah. It's got so many different ways, I could ramble forever on all these different ways, really. Oh, I got a sale on merch yesterday, so that's pretty cool. But I had a like a 7-day no sales period. I know I've only got 100 designs up. I know it's quite a lot, but if you consider it like when I had 100 listings up, I might have been getting a sale a day, but I don't even think I was getting a sale a day. Really, I might have been. But it's all dependent on your style with merch. Like my style is more long-term designs or long-tail designs, so it makes sense that mine aren't selling as regularly. Maybe I should have thrown in a few more trending designs just to help get my account up a little bit. So what I might do in a few weeks is remove some of those designs that I'm not happy with that I did maybe 4 weeks ago, right at the start of my journey, and then replace them with trending designs that might give me a few sales coming in. But we'll see. It's just a nice little journey, really. But I've made like $26 or something this month in royalties. And considering we're 4 weeks in terms of my entire journey, and I've made $26 just in June, I'm really happy with that. And I've also went from having 4 designs live to having 100 designs live. So in a matter of 4 weeks. So I've done 96 designs in 4 weeks. That is incredible. Like, just ridiculous. But anyway, I'll leave it there, guys. I've been over an hour now, so I best go. Thank you very much for watching me. Don't forget, if you're watching this live now, feel free to pop over to the Discord chat. Get your name in there, obviously. I also need some moderators in there, so if some people could come over who I am familiar with, maybe you've got a YouTube channel yourself or something like that. If I'm familiar with you and I trust you, then you can be a moderator in there. And obviously, if anything kicks off in there, you can obviously ban people and stuff and keep it sort of clean. But yeah, so if you would like to, please do go over and join the Discord. And I will see you in the next one. So see you very soon, guys. Now we find the button to stop the broadcast.